Happy Valentine's. For the cars, we have 3 parking areas. The building, outside the church for now, that is filled to capacity. We don't need more vehicles there. The VIPs will be parking at the remand park yard. So officers that are guiding the parking process, take note of that. The VVIPs, once they are dropped, their vehicles will be parked at the remand parking yard. Then the rest of the vehicles could be parked at the building section. And so far, those that are parked outside the Protestant church have filled that area. We don't need any more vehicles being parked there. Ensure our clients are seated. Ushers, please guide the VIPs in the tent at their points where they're supposed to be seated. The chief guest is almost here. Ensure you are at the appropriate sitting point. Good morning. Good morning. There are two tents for our guests. The guests, the chief guests and the VIPs, as well as the CEOs for the various groups, will be occupying this tent. The tent on the other side is for inmates, except for two columns at the end. So this will be occupied by inmates. CEOs for the various groups are seated on the first, second, third, fourth row from the end, on the left side of that tent. The right side of this tent will be occupied by prisons and the ministry's CEOs. So let us clear the entrance. Hello. Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. Let us clear the entrance. We should not have people crowding there. And for the flowers, please, flowers should be on this side henceforth, as we wait for the chief guest who will receive his bouquet at a different point. So no more flowers at the entrance.
Will have the ability to do that which you want to do, and that they will go out and make better lives for themselves and for future generations. We thank you for this incredible gift. We thank you for, I think, the ability for each and every one of us to find out how we can love and loving others. It also reminds me, the Bible says that Jesus Christ looked at them, he had compassion, and he healed them. So we pray that there's a healing that takes place just by the acceptance and the love that has taken place today. You know, it's always important when you know that people are thinking about you. And the fact that we're here today to launch this amazing project means that people are thinking about others. And we pray that servant leadership will be part of our lives, and that in every place we shall look and see how we can do better and how we can do more for others. We honor you greatly. We bless you greatly. We thank you for this beginning. May it be a beginning of the launching of many other such projects across the 47 counties of this nation. May every person receive new skills, new abilities, new gifts, new graces, and may we all be people who share our resources with others. We pray all this believing in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Kimani. We may be seated. Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. The Commissioner General of Prisons, sir, we're happy to have you here during the Valentine's celebration and the launch of the workshop. Sir, we'd like to inform all our guests that we are live streaming this event, and the links can be found on the Langata platform, Chandaria project platform. Please, those who are in those platforms, to share them with their various CEOs and their institution, for those who are following us through the live stream to be able to access this. Next, we are going to move to the entertainment. Sir, during the COVID pandemic, the relief we found was through music and dance and being able to listen to one another after trainings as listeners by various stakeholders. So today we are proud that we are at this level of stability from those partnerships. And as we celebrate this partnership today, we would like to share with you a few items of what we normally do to develop our talents and to relieve and debrief ourselves as we partake this journey as officers, as clients in the prisons department. So the first item will be a poem by the convicted prisoners. There are 3 of them. They would like to share with you what today means to them. So I will invite Manyonge, Winnie Kioko, and Gloria Chemutai to share with us the poem. Listen to the words, and I'm sure you'll pick 1 or 2 things as you enjoy them narrated to you. Karibuni.
Our guests, the trio before you, presents a spoken word entitled Good Hearts Give Wings to Fly. Welcome. What a day like no other. Our hearts bubble with great joy. It's not all gloom after all. Somebody cares for us. People with big hearts do. Our chief guests, sir, other dignitaries, Langata Women Prison Community, ladies and gentlemen, we salute you all with our hats off.
When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary projects, all of your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction. And you find yourself new, great, and wonderful world. Dr. Chandaria, faculties, skills, and talent become alive and discover ourselves to be greater people by far than we ever dreamed ourselves to be.
You are a man of infinite possibilities. Your light shines bright upon us. We admire your focal point. When you speak with intention, not just for attention. Your uniqueness is truly exceptional. Who else is like you? It's not only you, someone with our best interests at heart. Thank you so very much for choosing to embrace us.
2 months or so, we gathered here for the groundbreaking ceremony of the new project. Dr. Chandaria, your word is your bond. Behold, standing tall for all to see, next to the kitchen is a modern day bakery and clothing and textile facility. Such a beautiful sight to behold. Our joy knows no bounds.
Read every day something no one else is reading. To think every day something no one else is reading or thinking. See what all sees. Think what none thinks. It is the best for the mind to be always part of anonymity.
We used to look at the building and wonder, is it really happening? Now we look at the end result and still wonder, has it really happened? Still yet, we wonder, are we going to be not just busy, but busy with a cause? Thank you so very much for seeing us as people too.
What a precious gift to receive on a Valentine's Day. This is the real meaning of Valentine. To help the poor, the needy, and the marginalized. That's man's divine purpose on earth. Dr. Chandaria, today you affirm the saying, giving Atieno fish and Nanjala bags of flour is not enough, but teaching them how to fish and sow seeds is better. We shall reap from this project wholesomely for a long, long time. Dr. Chandaria, your associates and people of goodwill, thank you for realizing that prisoners can reform and become better people in future. Thank you for understanding that though we are prisoners, our families depend on us psychologically, emotionally, and even economically. Thank you for teaching society that charity is love in action. Your selfless nature, together with your humility, is outstanding in Kenya and beyond. It will be an understatement for one to say you are a hero. You are a living legend. Keep the candle burning. God bless you all, and thank you for listening to us. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Amen to that. A better clap from you for her. Our chief guest, sir, it is a request from our clients that since everybody else has a flower, they would like to give a bouquet to the chief guest and the representative of Dr. Chandaria, as well as the representative of the PS, who's the administrative secretary, Mr. Patrick Mwangi. So at this moment, we will invite the three to stand as they receive flowers from the ladies. Wamesema ni kutoka kwa roho yao ndani. May you be their Valentine on this day, thanking you for making them witness this day, this joy, this day as they celebrate Valentine's Day and the Lord. Take your time, we need to have photos. Yes, the photos, memoirs of what happened today. And thank you, the chief guest, the representative of Manu Chandaria, Mr. Anderson Lindgren, and Mr. Patrick Mwangi. Asanteni sana. Thank you for allowing us to take that ceremony within this. So next, we will have a band from Langata Women's Prison. The band are the poem are activities that are done within the prison school. So the next item is the prison band, fully comprised of our clients. They are both remandees and convicted prisoners. But for now, they are free at heart, celebrating Valentine's Day. Come to the front so that we are able to see you. charge of entertainment, you have Senior Sergeant Susan Marita, who normally takes the tune. We have been partnering with Peter Oshner in the music club.
Thank you so much, Madam Jackie. Sit back and enjoy.
Mimi mwanadamu na dunia ninapita, kama kupata kwa zamu, zamu yangu itafika. Siwezi kana damu, kesho tajanizika, ila ningependa fahamu haya mateso napata. Watoto jueni, yalonisibu mimi, sikupenda wewe. Online nijali, riziki yangu mimi taipata. Sina furaha naigiza, ili mradi watoto sijisi vibaya. Huyu mdogo anauliza, eti mami, kwani umehama kaya? Cha kujibu sina, nabaki tu kusema nitarudi baby, nitarudi baby, nawapenda sana, nitawaletea zawadi. Tatizo makosa yangu yamefanya niwe hapa, ni bora singefanya makosa mara 10 ningevumilia. Ingali maisha pekee, ni kweli ni changamoto, nimejifunza, nimekwacha upweke, yatima ukihangaika, ila siwezi jilaumu. Haya ni maisha, sababu kosa si kosa, kosa kurudia kosa, ila siwezi jilaumu. Haya ni maisha, sababu kosa si kosa, kosa kurudia kosa. Watoto jueni, yalonisibu mimi, sikupenda wewe. Online nijali, riziki yangu mimi taipata. Sina furaha naingiza, ili mradi watoto sijisi vibaya. Huyu Mungu anauliza, eti mami, kwani umehama kaya? Cha kujibu sina, nabaki tu kusema nitarudi baby, nawapenda sana, nitawaletea zawadi. Nitarudi baby, nitarudi baby, kosa kurudia kosa, ila siwezi jilaumu, haya ni maisha, sababu kosa si kosa, kosa kurudia kosa. Watoto jueni yalonisibu mimi, sikupenda wewe. Mola inijali, riziki yangu mimi taipata yeye. Oh, sina furaha naingiza, ili mradi watoto sijisi vibaya. Huyu mdogo anauliza, iti mami, kwani umehama kaya? Cha kujibu sina, nabaki tu kusema nitarudi baby, nawapenda sana, nitawaletea zawadi, nitarudi baby, sana, nitawaletea zawadi, nitarudi baby, nitarudi baby, ninawapenda sana, nitawaletea zawadi, nitarudi baby, nitarudi baby, ninawapenda sana, nitawaletea zawadi. Thank you.
Stay where you are. Remain standing. Thank you so much. Our chief guest, I believe that was a bit emotional, telling their kids watarudi. I beg that they end with a more lively song. The talented team can really sing. Thank you. I hope we have time for that. Let's have the next one. Let it leave the crowd happier than the emotions they have at the moment. Thank you.
Ikikushika simama tafadhali, tafadhali. Ikikushika simama pole pole.
tomato, baby. Too fresh like morning wine. Adawelele, iyo koko. Everybody they wait. Utakene no bo. If you di mama ka, better supu na money kila mo. Adanwa mwa peke miya. Dada, hey adanwa. Oh koko, dada, hey adanwa. Cheya sanwa. Hey dada, hey yo. Nda weti yo. Kawa kukawa. Mama ka. Hey yo. Yeke miye. Hey adanwa. Cheya sanwa. Hey dada, hey yo. Nda weti yo. Kukawa kukawa. Mama ka. Yeke miye. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, ya waya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, adalo, hallelujah, ngachabia. Adalo, hallelujah, ngachabia. Adalo, hallelujah, ngachabia. Adalo, hallelujah, ngachabia. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, iya, ije. Bacon, ya waya, ije.
Wapi makofi ya warembo?
Wapatie makofi, watajisahau wafikirie tuko kwenye disco. Some history on the catwalk. One of our partners, Carol Kinoti, has partnered with Langata Women's Prison and the Kenya Prisons Department. The designs that are going to be adorned during the catwalk were made in partnership with Carol Kinoti's brand, and the women in prison took part in the stitching of the garments. So catwalk is one of the items or the activities the clients participate in. There are those who come when they are young and they still have time to develop their talents as well as to raise their self-esteem. So most of them, you'll find them amongst the models who are normally used during the catwalks. So the main partner we have during the catwalk is Carol Kinoti, who has other groups known as Mavazi Elevate program, where she empowers groups within the 47 counties of Kenya, as well as the prisons. She takes small individuals, helps them to grow their businesses, and helps them to advertise and market. So that is what we are doing today. If you find one of the garments is likable or you'd like it designed for you, you know where to go. Prisons is well equipped to give you all you need in life. The band, I thought you would be playing the music in the background. Are you ready? Okay.
I will love you when the party's empty. I will love you when you're not so strong. I will love you even you can't see right from wrong. Even though you broke my heart, and I lay here in the dark, tears running down my face, flowing from my heart. I will never leave your side, ride or die, right here till the end, my love and my friend. I'll be there when it is the coldest, and it is in the dark. I'll be there when you're at your lowest to keep you warm. I will love you even when you can. Love me the way I love you. Even when you think it's over, I'll be right there next to you. Even though you my heart, and I lay here in the dark, tears running down my face, flowing from my heart. I will never leave your side, ride or die, right here till the end, my love and my friend. Even though you broke my heart, and I lay here in the dark,
So I'll
tears running
request the
down my
band,
face, flowing
just
from
lower
my
the
heart.
voice, continue
I'll
playing the
never
music.
leave
We'll
your
have our
side,
music at the background
ride
as the
or
models
die,
chart the catwalk.
right here till the
So we
end,
have the
my
first
love and
model,
my friend. Even though
Eunice.
you broke my heart,
Eunice, a
and I
special
lay
category
here in the
offender.
dark, tears running down my face, flowing from my heart.
Eunice, that is a garment that
I
has
will never
been designed
leave your side,
by
ride
Mavazi
or
Elevate,
die,
Karo
right
Kinoti
here till
brand,
the end,
and
my
the
love
finishing
and
is
my
done by
friend.
women from Langata Women's Prison.
Even though you broke my heart, and I lay here in the dark, tears running down my face, flowing from my heart. I will never leave your side, ride or die, right here till the end, my love and my friend.
That is Eunice serving as long sentence. She's a special category, but all that matters today is that it's Valentine's Day and she feels beautiful. Give her a round of applause. So continue. The band should continue. Next, Rispa. Makofi ya Rispa. That is Rispa Jacinta Kanini. Makofi yake. The finishing, especially at the collar. That is by Langata Women's Prison Industry. Don't they look beautiful? Makofi kwao, mpe motisha.
Kuwa na mchumba wangu, nipendana kama nyama choma.
Langata Prison hosts international clients. So today we have Maria. Maria mwenyewe Miss Discipline. That is a Big Daddy. The item I assume is one of the Big Daddy brands by Karo Kinoti. The bidding is done by Langata Women's Prison. Very decent, very comfortable, and that can be worn by any person, young or old, especially during the cold season. Makofi kwake. So next we have Shiko, Mary Wanjiko. The crochet work done by Langata Women's Prison. Isn't it lovely? Makofi kwao. Caro Kinotic Brand, Langata Women's doing the finishing. And their makeup was done by Ovid. Makofi. Self-esteem iko wapi? Juju kabisa. Next we have Charlotte, a pre-trial image. I can't hear the applause, eh? Piga makofi mpatie motisha. With partnership, there's no limit to what you can achieve and what can come out from our clients. Makofi tena to Charlotte. Next is Ruth Kamande, Miss Langata 2016, currently a law student. Makofi kwa nguo na kwa mwenyewe na kwa Valentine's Day. Makofi ya Kamande. The finishing of that garment is done by Langata Women's Prison. Makofi, it's beadwork. Next we have Gloria, the poet, Miss Environment, the multi-talented Gloria. Makofi kwake. Na makofi kwa mavazi. Sijui kwa nini ampigi makofi. Even the crown is done by Langata Women's Prison. So the models will be saying bye-bye. Jaribu ufanye vile wanafanya, usifanye ile ya kienyeji. Angalia vile wanafanya. Thank you. Blessed day. Happy Valentine's. And joining them is Carol Kinoti. Makofi tafadhali. Musiende murudi Stella Rudi. Makofi kwao. Let's appreciate them. Good job. Stella, thank you so much. The claps, for me, they are not enough. I pray that you give them factory of 5 to appreciate the entertainment team. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you and God bless you. Later on we'll have some piece and segment of entertainment. But for now, our chief guest, we will move directly to the speeches, and we will start with the committee that was charged with the responsibility of seeing that this project came to fulfillment. I will invite a representative of the rest of the stakeholders, and that will be Rene Ngamau, who was the chair of the accounts committee. Rene Ngamau from Clean Start, please come over. Asanteni sana. I was SP Jacqueline. Thank you for your time.
Another round of applause for SP Jacqueline. Isn't she a wonderful MC? You know, it's not everyone who can stand here, huh? Our chief guest, our distinguished guests, our wonderful ladies for whom this Valentine's is dedicated. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Renee Ngamao, and I am a director at Clean Start Kenya. For those of you who don't know us, which is probably this side of the tent more than this side, we exist to serve formerly imprisoned women and children, and women in prison and children in prison. And we serve them by offering counseling support, by offering reintegration services once they come out of the institutions, and by helping them to resettle. And indeed, it is such an honor for us to be here, to see this project arrive at this point. We've worked for, I think I can confidently say, for the 10 years since our founder, Teresa Njoroge, who you will see somewhere over here, came out of this institution herself, and having seen the real difficulty that women were going through and the children were going through, dedicated her life and dedicates her life to the service of women and children. I'm not here by myself. Our chair, the chair of the board of Clean Start, is also here, Dr. Patricia Murugami. I'll just ask you to stand where you are and perhaps just wave and greet everyone so they can recognize you. Thank you very much. And really what I want to speak, to inform you about, our chief guest, is the power of a combined group of people coming together with one focus to create something different and something that makes a difference. The Chandaria Foundation, having so graciously and generously given of itself, its finances, of course, for the amazing workshop that you're going to see, the state-of-the-art facility that is inside here, recognized that it could not do it on its own. And so invited a number of other stakeholders to say, let's not just build a structure that will look good and have a name on it, but that will make a real and lasting difference. And so I want to acknowledge the following. First of all, from the State Department of Correctional Services, the Permanent Secretary, the Honorable Safina Kwekwe, who has really, really been a support to us. The entirety of the State Department of Correctional Services, and especially those here at Langata Women's Prison, from the officer in charge to all of the other officers, who I will be naming shortly. Because with them, they have opened doors for us, they've explained how it works, they've told us what the do's and the don'ts are, they've given us a vision of a time when they would not have clients anymore. It is incredible that anyone would be talking about not having work or reducing the work that they have in a future where there would not be so much recidivism, and perhaps there wouldn't be so many women and children coming to prison in the first place. So we want to thank you so much for the support that you have given us and that you continue to give us. SAFAL and MRM, you were given an impossible task. You were told on the 10th of November that by the 14th of February, we need to have a workshop that is up and running. I think these ones deserve their own round of applause because they have worked so hard. God bless them. And we're really grateful to them. UNODC, for seeing the start of this project and believing in the project and believing that you could come together with us and create something. Rena's Cake House and Valentine's Cake House. If you listen to Rena, she will tell you of the time when she used to come to teach baking here, and they used to use firewood. And now you've got a state-of-the-art bakery. So to Rena and to Valentine's, thank you ever so much. PADMAD, who are doing something absolutely revolutionary. Now I know that the men might feel a little shy, but this is the nature of how biology works. I'm going to say this. Women need sanitary pads. This is how this biology works. And we know that there's an environmental effect of using sanitary pads. And PADMAD have come to create a product that allows us to reuse the pads and ensures that the impact to the environment is less. And with the women making these pads for us, we're not only clean, we're not only dignified, but we're operating in an environment. Thank you for the work that you've done through KEPSA Women. That has been really, really incredible to step in and to say, let us know how you need us. We're here, we're present with you. KEPSA, hodi hodi, twasija. Because we need markets for the products. We need these women to be able to find the markets as they come out. Because once they leave here, they will continue with their skills and they need to know where to sell them, how to package them, how to brand them, how to grow into international markets and regional markets. KEPSA, hodi, we are at your door. To Breakthrough Leadership Transformation, which is run by Dr. Patricia Murugami, for all of the work that you are doing to help
open up the minds, to help change the way of thinking, to create goals and aspirations for all of us, not just those in that uniform, but each of us. Because outside of that, we cannot move if we do not have a vision. So we acknowledge you for that. Thika Clothing Mill, Thika Textile Mills, whose uniforms, whose fabrics you will see worn today as you go into the facility. All of the fabric that you will see used on all of the different things from the uniforms onwards has come from Thika Textile Mills. And if I could just ask that the representatives stand up, I know Tejal, you're somewhere hidden behind the tent over there, and just wave the vision that she has for the work that we can do and that we can co-create. Chief guest, all the way from perhaps even Kingdom Business Solutions. Yo, our partners on their knees for us, sending us out, praying for us, reminding us what the business idea is to hold us in good stead spiritually as well as on the ground with business. And I will just ask very, very quickly that you stand up as well, that we might acknowledge you. Thank you ever so much. To Faraja Foundation, who have walked this journey from the days of the founder, who has since transitioned to be with our Maker, and the work that you have done. I don't know if I've seen someone from Faraja Foundation today. No? If so, just wave. There could be a bit where I can't see you because of the equipment in front of me. And here's what I want to say. We've got 3 asks. Well, let me just say something. To each of the officers who have every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and every Thursday met with us for us to work out the little details. How much do we need? How much flour do we need? Where is it going to be placed? How many women will be trained? How will they be trained? How are we going to, what's the criteria for training these women? What happens afterwards? How do they get paid? Who pays them? Where does that money sit? When do they get that money? How can they use that money while they're in prison? How can they use that money to support their children who are outside? And when they come out, what do they get? So I want to call very, very quickly, and I know that they did not know I was going to do this, so I apologize, but I don't really. All of the officers, Carol, Jackie, all the officers who have been with us inside, please very, very quickly where you are, stand up, wave, or come to the front. Jackie, where's Madam Carol? Come on, you know yourselves, you've been in there, about 6 or 7 of us. Oh, there you are. Our Deputy OIC, Evelyn Kaliti. Oh, there you are, thank you so much. Officer, who I can see is waving while he is sitting. I think he does not want to be seen. He just wants to nod and hope that we can give eye contact. But I will still ask him to stand up, that everyone may know that we're not just women. We also have men who are supporting us in this project. So I ask you kindly, please do stand up. Yes, there you go. And the man who has put it all together, we call him for everything from water to welfare. Mr. Vincent Rapando. Wow. Tireless, visionary. Thank you so very much. Truly another round of applause for this man. The work he has done is incredible. And now our asks. Our chief guest, we have 3 very, very simple asks. Number 1, that this project be allowed to continue and that it be used as a pilot project so that it can go out to the other institutions, that women and children in other institutions can be able to learn a skill, earn a living, and come out of these institutions reformed and skilled with an experience that they can use to build a life that their past does not dictate their future, but that the conditions that they have now and what we expose them to creates a different and a better future. That's our first from the prisons. The second is from KEPSA and from all of industry. These women have served their time. They have. If you would not individually have your past held against you, don't hold their past against them. This is the point of being in an institution like this. Employ us, hire us, buy products specifically, discriminate positively to buy from formerly imprisoned women and from projects such as these, because your shilling might just be a rounding accounting error. But over here, it's the difference between whether they come back, whether they have lives of dignity, or whether they continue to be held back by a past that they no longer have. And finally, to you, specifically our chief guest. The officers that you have seen and the very many others who have been trained to be able to teach these women how to bake, how to sew, how to operate these machines are so very talented. And we would love to see that this project moves to other prisons. We would ask this, that you consider, and this is really a request, that you consider that as they grow in their career, that we work together so that when you place them in different institutions, that we may come along and with their expertise, their knowledge, their ability to roll out this project because they will have learned from this one. SI unit for others to benchmark across the continent. Look what Kenya have done, we can do it too. And so this is our ask of you, that you remember our officers as well. And finally, to everyone who is watching today, there is no situation as difficult as what the women and the men in our prisons go through. But if there's something that we can do, it is create a future based on what we do today and going forward that ensures two things. Number one, that our young men and our women, our old men and our older women, are able to remain in dignity, are able to get the work that they need, are able to live lives that do not turn them to crime. But where they have turned to crime and where they have paid the debt, that we no longer hold that against them, but that we open our doors. Because we're only called to 4 things in terms of service as human beings: to feed the hungry, to clothe those who are naked, to visit those who are in hospitals, and to give succor to those who are in prison. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Renee. Another round of applause for Renee Klingstadt. So before we move to the next speaker, I would like to inform our guests that at the tail end of the speeches, the chief guest will be moving into the prison to launch the project. And at that time, only a specific number of people will be allowed to enter into the prison. So at that point, only when you have been informed to get in, you will be allowed to get in. So we'll have only 20 people. So prepare yourself. We'll pass around and inform you, and I'll even call out the names just before we enter into the prisons. Thank you. The next speaker, I'd like to invite from Safal Group, the CEO, who is Anders Lindgren. Karibu sana, makofi ya pesa. This building could not have been without them. Another round of applause for him.
Thank you so much.
Sana.
Brigadier retired John Varioba, representatives from the Ministry of Interior, colleagues, and many representatives from all the supporting organizations here, friends. It's a real honor and pleasure for us, the Safal Group, to be here for this event. And first of all, I probably have to tell you that Manu Chandaria, he called me 2 weeks ago and he said, Anders, you know, I have a commitment in the Langta women's prison that I unfortunately cannot attend, but you have to be there. So it was a very clear message to me that whatever you have planned, if you plan anything else to do on that day, you better be at the prison at that time. I think this is a fantastic initiative, and for us, of course, being in the building industry, buildings are important, but it's still only a building. It's still only steel. But when I come here and see and meet all the people engaged in making what this building is today and the importance of this building, I think I've never seen a building with such a significant importance as this single building. And of course it's with the support of so many. Chandaria Foundation is the main one. We also have, actually we have a representative here. We have the CEO for MRM in Kenya, Manish Mira. Please stand up. You've been very instrumental in making this happening as well. And actually the one, not maybe just him, but the organization that actually did this building is our Safal Building System. So we have Samuel Muhingo with us here. Welcome. And it's been a rather big investment. I think in totality, with all supporting this, is probably an investment of around 10 million shillings in the end. Yeah? But once again, the hardware is the hardware. I think I'm really impressed what I've seen Clean Start is doing here, what Tika Clothing is doing, and all the other organizations that supports this, this really to happen. And the building by itself, that will not do the trick. It's everything that makes the dream of this building come true. Yeah? I represent Safal Group. Safal Group is a group doing building solutions, probably the biggest building solution group in Africa. We operate in East and South. Here, as you all might know, in Kenya we have Mabati Rolling Mills, MRM. We also have, as just mentioned, we have Safal Building Systems. We also have Instill here. I think it's quite amazing, where the industry is going. We do mainly roofing. We also do modular solutions. We do solar. We do cold rooms. We do many things within building solution area. Yeah. What Samuel has been doing with the Safal Building System is quite unique, because we are actually doing modular buildings today. When we say modular, it means that the whole building is prefabricated in our factory and then transported here only for assembly, which actually means we can do today a building like this one. Early it was said it is impossible, but as I think Muhammad Ali said, impossible is nothing. Yeah? We can actually do that in 10 weeks, and we see a lot of opportunities of that going forward in this part of the world, and hopefully we can support more prisons with similar things going forward as well, when I see the very significant importance of a building like the one we're going to inaugurate today. For Safal, our core values are very, very important. And one important core value for us is to have a commitment to our communities. And this is a community. And we do many things in that area. For example, in Mariakani today, close to our factory down outside Mombasa, we have a hospital taking 35,000 patients every year. We have a training center also there that certifies 700-800 students every year. And in very practical tasks, like, for example, repairing bodas or machines, or doing hair, or doing makeup and things like that, which makes it easy for youth to go out and find jobs. And it's very similar to what we see here. There is a question of integrate youth into society and give them a chance. Here is a question of how do we reintegrate people, ladies from here, into society afterwards. And I think that what I've seen here, I think the bakery side there is fantastic. I hope I have a chance at some point in time to taste something from that bakery, because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of nice things coming out of there. And also, of course, the clothing side here, and I think we saw a fantastic show here. And of course, it's probably, reintegration is probably part of it, but I think also the whole thing of activating and getting things happening in this environment is very important. Yeah? So I think with that, first of all, I will wish all of you ladies on this side, luck in that building down there with what you're going to do, and hope that will help you all when you come back into society again. Yeah? That's my wish. And once again, thanks to all the organizations that have been part of this one. And we promise on our side that we will continue to work with you, and I'm sure we find other opportunities similar to this going forward. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Makofi kwake tena. Hiyo sio makofi ya kutosha. Piga makofi sana mtongozani. Thank you so much, Anders. Next, we will have the representative of Manu Chandaria, Vincent Rapando. Makofi yake akija. Karibu sana.
The Chief Guest, Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Anders, the CEO of Safal Group, Mr. Manish, CEO of MRM, Business Head, SBS, Mr. Samuel Muhingo, the VC, Strathmore University, Professor Vincent Ogutu, Mr. Daniel Juma, Global Peace Foundation, Mr. Manji, the supplier of baking equipments, all the stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. I think I will not speak a lot because Mr. Anders has said everything. But Dr. Chandaria has asked me just to convey his regards because he could not could not come here today. However, he said, if this project is well sustained, I think the keyword is sustainability, and we captured this in the MOU. The foundation will be willing to replicate this in another women prison countrywide. So that is the promise, the Commissioner General that have been given by Dr. Manu Chandaria. So it has been a long journey. Literally, it has taken us almost 10 weeks because when you are given this target that we must make sure this building is complete and handed over during Valentine, indeed, the team delivered. We chose different products for both units, specifically because of market demands. For the ladies who will be in the baking, there'll be mandazis, there'll be chapatis, there'll be cakes, there'll be kangumu, what you call the KDF. I don't know if the prison will be coming up their own brand, also called prison. Because if you have KDF and I know the CG was from the military side, we need to come up with a name for the prison that we brand our products. And then on the other side, from the tailoring unit, we have the face masks, we'll have the aprons, we'll have the sweaters, we'll have the school bags, and then we'll have the reusable sanitary pads by PadMat. So we are yet to complete the process in terms of the MOU. The chief guest, we already have an MOU draft that's almost ready that will be forwarded to you and be forwarded to the partners for conclusion. I think with that, let me wish you all a happy Valentine's. And just before that, there's Mr. Vinoj. Mr. Vinoj was given an opportunity. He's the one who was given all the 700 stems of flowers. And just before I finish again, especially for the inmates, the clans, the Valentine Cake House will also be donating a 10 kg cake. Mr. Mark is here, so he'll be given that cake so that you're able to celebrate that. With that, let me say thank you and be blessed.
Thank you so much, Bwana Vincent. Hiyo ndio makofi mnapatianga pesa. Without Chandaria Foundation, the structure would not have been put up. And Mr. Chandaria, Dr. Chandaria is a co-founder in the Safal groups, MRM and SBFs, which have played a major role in ensuring that building comes from the ground mpaka juu. Makofi. Factorial ngapi? 10 ya kushukuru. Sawa sawa. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you. God bless you. So before we proceed, I'd like to recognize the following persons before we continue. We have Matthew for Valentine's Cake House. He has been mentioned. Please wave. Makofi yao. Expertise imetoka hapo. Kuna Victoria Tardon from UNODC. Are they here? Makofi for UNODC. We have Lucy Muchoki representing KEPSA Women. Lucy Muchoki and Bonnie. Makofi ya KEPSA. Dr. Vincent Ogutu Strathmore. Is he around? Makofi ya daktari. And we have Dr. Patricia Murungami from Cleanstart. So finally, so we also have Masi Waithanji from KEPSA. Yes, she stood up when I called Lucy Muchoki. Hatutaki mistaken identity. Hiyo niko kosa. Thank you so much, Masi Waithanji. We have come to the next part where I'll now invite the deputy officer in charge to take over for the rest of the program. Makofi Madam Akija. Karibu Madam.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Our chief guest of today, the Commissioner General of Prisons, Brigadier Retired Dr. John Warioba, a representative from the Office of Minister of Interior and Coordination of National Government, Principal Administrative Secretary, Mr. Patrick Mwangi, Representative Manu Chandaria, Anders Leader Green, all directors present, RC Region, CEOs of various stakeholders. It is my pleasure to welcome you all, even though we've started, on behalf of the officer in charge, who is not with us today, is gone to on official duty to Langata Women Prison to witness this launch of new bakery and textile and clothing workshop. This workshop is, one has said, it is divided into two sections, bakery and textile and clothing. And sir, during the time that we were preparing for the launch, we've managed to train 6 members of staff for the textile and clothing section, and 8 members of staff, and 10 inmates will be on the side of bakery. Those are the members of staff and inmates who will be starting the project. And it is a fact that this project will be of great help to the inmates here, because it will help them sharpen their skills while here in the prison. They will be able to earn income while in prison. They'll be able to, while they have been released, go stand on their own, open businesses, and that we will be able, as a department, have achieved our departmental goal of reducing the number of recidivism that we see every day. So I want to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who has been our support during this time, and we also request that as we continue, it is our wish that you will also continue supporting us. Thank you so much. And now, because of time, I would like now to invite our regional commander, Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Kisingu. Welcome.
Thank you, Evelyn. Our chief guest, the Commissioner General of Prisons, retired Brigadier John Warioba, the Principal Administrative Secretary, Patrick Mwangi, the representative of Manu Chandaria, Daktari for the Chandaria Foundation, all our stakeholders and all our friends, our dear sisters, who without them we could not have this day, all the officers who are working here. Allow me to take this opportunity to invite you and welcome you to Nairobi region, where I head. and take this opportunity to thank all our stakeholders for their support to get this project operating or started today. And therefore, my humble duty is therefore to welcome the Principal Administrative Secretary, Patrick Mwangi, to bring to us our chief guest, the Commissioner of Prisons, the Commissioner General of Prisons. Thank you and welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, our chief guest, representing our CS and CAS, Brigadier Retired John Warioba, Commissioner General of Prisons. Our guests today are the Manu Chandaria Foundation and the entire support team. Our officers around, our guests, and even our ladies. Today, being a Valentine's Day, I think is worthy. The team that led us in the opening prayers today delivered a very, very powerful message. And I think they led the pace. And from what we gathered from the love of God to the love of human being to love of one another, I'm still wondering what he said. Suppose every day is Valentine, what would it be like today? Let's think about it. And with what we have experienced from Manu Chandaria and others, let us make Valentine every day, and especially in our prisons. As we see today here, although I know the chief guest will really focus on this, our guest today who was willing under any circumstance to be here until the last minute, Madam Winnie, has made various visits to Kenyan prisons. I think she has visited more than 3/4 of prisons in Kenya. And she does a lot of engagements. And from her vision and what she has communicated to the CES, Honorable Matiang'i, the direction that we have been given is not anywhere limited to the asks that Winnie has just placed here. So be sure that the asks that have been made here today will not only form part of our instructions and activities, but also our wish to have a better placed prison environment, both for women and for men, because the men situation is a bit there, and we will invite men also to be more generous to their own men. The fact that he left you does not mean that he's no longer yours. And please, let us appreciate. Society is made by men, and we are modeling them. And they're coming out clean. They're coming out improved. And in a program that was launched by our minister exactly 18 days ago, today, one of the giveaways that we want to make sure that a prison person walks out with is a certificate with details, which we will improve to a digital system showing the request asked to KEPSA that the person we are giving you has gone through this and this and that, and that he could even be better. He, she, or her could be better than actually the one that you have inside there. So please, we are happy. Let's continue supporting each other. It is not just about us, it is about all of us working together. I don't want to take more time. May I take this opportunity to request all of you to give a standing ovation and invite our chief guest, retired Brigadier John Warioba, kwa makofi moja. Tena, wapi hiyo, wapi? Makofi. Karibu. Karibu tena. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Kindly let us be seated. The Administrative Secretary, Mr. Patrick Mwangi, Director of Welfare and Rehabilitation, Madam Olivia, Regional Commander Nairobi Region, Mr. Henry Kisingu, senior government officials present here today, all the sponsors who have made this project successful, and our other partners who are present here today, members of the Fourth Estate, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First and foremost, before I proceed, I want you to receive special greetings from our CAS for Interior and Coordination of National Government, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, and the Chief Administrative Secretary, Madam Winnie Gushu, who would have wished to be with us this morning here, but because of other exigencies of duty, they were unable to make it to this place. By proceeding, I'm delighted to be part of this handing over ceremony of the Langata Women Prisons Training Workshop. I will start by thanking all the sponsors and stakeholders, including Chandaria Foundation, Mabati Rolling Mills, the Safal Group, the Safal Group Building Systems, KEPSA Women, United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, Clean Start, Raina Bakery, Valentine's Cake House, Faraja Foundation, Mavazi Elevate Program, and Father Grohl's Welfare. I appreciate all for sharing in our vision and your valuable contribution to the success of this transformation project. You have indeed added jovial smiles to 480 inmates housed in this correctional facility. Excuse me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the overall objective of this initiative is to strengthen the government's capacity to enhance integration, prevent relapse in crime, and empower women in conflict with the law through life alternative opportunities that boost their potential through vocational and entrepreneurship training. The key objectives of the project include to equip women at Langata Women Prison with the skills that will enable them and build their entrepreneurial capacity and choose alternatives to crime for income generation upon completion of their sentence. To provide a platform for mentorship between the women and the education needs of the business mentors. To ensure the income obtained supports the women and educational needs of the children living with their mothers in prisons. To improve on marketing strategies of the products in terms of labeling, packaging, and branding with the intention of competing both locally and internationally. Indeed, this project is set to benefit 43% of the inmates in this facility, equipping them with skills in bakery and tailoring. Some of the products that will be produced include face masks, school bags, picnic bags, aprons, scarves, ponchos, school sweaters, inmates sweaters, embroidery of clothes and tablecloths produced from the textile section. Products from the bakery will be targeted prisons within Nairobi area before venturing into other markets. The products include cakes, pastries, and bread. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, this initiative is in line with the revamping of prisons enterprise, a thematic area in Rapid Results Initiative, which was launched by the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, just last month. It is one among the 5 thematic areas expected to yield positive results in just 100 days. Actually, the already existing bakery and tailoring units in the facility are very limited in terms of space and equipment, and therefore this project will ensure that more inmates will be accommodated in getting the skills. In conclusion, I call upon your unwavering support in successful operationalization of this project and possible replication of the same model in other facilities across the country. Finally, let me therefore take this opportunity to declare the Langata Women's Workshop officially opened. And I thank you and wish each and every one of you a happy Valentine. May God bless all of you.
Makofi ya commissioner, makofi ya chief guest, si ya hivyo tuchape nini? We are, before the chief guest goes in, we'll give the Factorial 10 clap, and as the music plays, we'll have the VIPs. The line that is along with the chief guest will be the first to enter prisons. So we give the Factorial 10 first before the chief guest proceeds to the gate. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So as the chief guest proceeds, it's the chief guest, the administrative secretary, the representative, the CEOs from the SAFA group, SBS, MRM, the regional commander, the director, offender management and welfare services, will proceed into the main prison, accompanied by the deputy officer in charge, Vincent Rapando, Mark Gillis, Carol Kinoti, Victoria Tajan, Matthew, and we have Engineer Mercy from Texas. We also begin the entourage to have the lead. Our guests into the prison. You will accompany, you will led by the chief, the Commissioner General of Prison, who always be at the front, will to lead.
Twende tu, twende mwenye ataingia kali. Wewe kama kidogo mtakanya.
Ni kama imetulia.
Inakaa smart. So niingia kabla wengine.
Tunatoka hapa, unafika hapa. Unapanda mtu. Ama hapa. Hapa. Bado kuchukua huku na hapa. Hapa nyuma. Haya. Sasa mawaya nazo. Hata tu nini shida ni kulikunja nyama ndani ya nini ya stand. Kidogo kando yangu hapo. Sasa hapa ndo maneno. Piga tu wide, achana na kwa. Ni kawaida.
Shangilia wewe.
Anafungua hii, fungua hii. Pasing makata ya. Chukulia kwa dirisha.
If you don't mind.
Maybe go the other side. So I Okay.
Brain, how are you not in this photo? Hold on. These are the people who work behind the scenes and who are never seen.
Yeah, but it's okay. Let me join you.
Yes. You're the ones who
Mimi ni officer.
All are your actions and see them here. Emily, as it's so fast.
He wants to be an expert. He wants to be an expert. This I was telling you, Vincent, we can do something in terms of courses or
wanakuja